Welcome to the Good News Flower Hour, people. I'm your host, Dave Easy. The CIA station chief at its sensitive post in Algeria is under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department for allegedly raping at least 2 Muslim women who claim he laced their drinks with a knockout drug and then filmed the sexual assaults. I think we can all agree this is not helpful. Defying logic, Google Incorporated late yesterday launched an updated version of Gmail that lets users access their Gmail accounts without an actual internet connection. This makes no objective sense in the real world. Fortunately, we all migrated to the bizarro universe some time ago. Massive deficits could force the post office to cut out 1 day of mail delivery, the Postmaster General told Congress on Wednesday, in asking lawmakers to lift the requirement that the agency deliver mail 6 days a week. If the economic picture continues to worsen, the post office may also have to cut down on the number of workplace shootings. According to the BBC, a team of environmental researchers in the U.S. have warned many effects of climate change are irreversible. The scientists concluded global temperatures could remain high for 1,000 years, even if carbon emissions can somehow be halted. The bottom line of the study? What is the fucking point? Resisting a protracted reach-out effort and charm offensive by President Obama to get Republicans on board for his $800 bazillion economic stimulus package, a grand total of 0 House Republicans wound up voting for it in the end. In related news, the Republican National Committee announced plans to change the party's nickname from Grand Old Party, or GOP, to Party of Obstructionist Pricks, or POP. The death toll from the cholera outbreak in Zimbabwe has now passed the 3,000 mark, the UN's World Health Organization said on Wednesday. A total of 3,028 people are now known to have died from the waterborne disease, while nearly 58,000 have been affected.
Oh, death. Oh, death.
How cold is it out there? Fucking cold enough that this caribou froze while standing up in minus 80-degree Fahrenheit winds on the North Slope at the top of Alaska. The Lupo family, whose 7 bodies were discovered shot to death Tuesday morning in their home, represent the 5th mass death of a Southern California family by murder or suicide in a year. Some of the 200 residents who crammed into a nearby community meeting blamed the Lupo's death on a dismal local economy. They cited a suicide note left by Irvin Lupo in which he describes the, quote, horrendous ordeal, unquote, that he and his wife endured while being fired from their jobs as medical technicians at Kaiser Permanente Medical Center in West Los Angeles. John Updike, one of the great American writers of the 20th century, died Tuesday of cancer at a hospice outside Boston. He was 76. Mr. Updike wrote of ordinary citizens in small-town and urban settings and the clash of extremes in everyday dramas of marriage, sex, and divorce. The only wealth he bestowed on his subjects lay in the richness of his descriptive language, the detailed fineness of which won him comparisons with painters like Vermeer and Andrew Wyeth. This detail was often so rich that it inspired 2 schools of thought on Mr. Updike's fiction. Those who responded to his descriptive prose as a kind of poetry, a sensuous engagement with the world, and those who argued that he wasted beautiful language on nothing.
So what kind of crazy shit did you do today?
Well, I took a bunch of blues, listened to some Moody Blues, and had sex with a hobo.
This week's episode of the Good News Flower Hour was brought to you by the word Blagojevich. Just go out and do it, people.
Didn't you do anything worth a shit today worth talking about?
Silence is the best weapon in a police state.